Craig, good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you? You right?
Yeah, good.
Nice.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Nice.
This is
Pleasure
strange
to be here.
situation this now, isn't it? Setting up our podcast. So we'll just tell people what we're trying to do here at
Yeah.
Periculo.
Yeah.
So we've got full stack security, which is going to be like our knowledge base education site. YouTube channel.
That's it. Yeah,
type
we've
thing.
got a lot of knowledge internally, and it's just about sharing that with customers, partners, potential partners. Just putting some more information out
Just
there.
get valuable stuff out there so that people can. Yeah.
They can utilise
Learn
that
more
for
cybersecurity, for
that's
personal
it.
use, business use.
Yep, absolutely. Entry level stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off on this series to sort of talk about people we've got at Periculo and how these people got into cyber, because we think going to some of these events recently, we found out that the educational side of it is really lacking and it's getting people into cyber, and I think people don't know how to do it.
Yep.
So that's what we're mainly going to talk about in this sort of series.
Yeah, I think so. You and I have been to a lot of these kind of like cyber conferences, and there's always a big question about how do you get people into the industry? What's the easiest route in? People always address there's a skills gap in the industry. So, what do you do to plug that gap?
Yeah.
And we've got a team here, obviously, of cybersecurity experts. Not that you and I are.
No, not at all. I'm a complete novice, really.
But I think between us, we've probably picked up some tips and some bits of information along the way.
I'm really surprised in the last. So I've been at Periculo 7-8 months now.
Wow,
I think
as long as that, yeah.
Came just before Christmas, November time.
Yeah.
Nothing, and I didn't really know a lot about cyber, but I was really interested in the field.
Yeah.
I knew people that worked here.
Yeah.
That were in this field of work, and I was asking them about it. And then I got an opportunity to get on board, not necessarily doing actual cybersecurity consulting.
Yeah.
It was more to help grow Periculo as a brand in sort of marketing and stuff, which I'm absolutely loving. Right?
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm learning so much stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you are Periculo's ops manager.
Yes.
And my boss, so
yeah.
he is fantastic.
I'll tell you what to do. I crack the whip.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you've come on leaps and bounds just in the sort of 8 months that you've been here. And I think you'd probably say the same. And your knowledge of cybersecurity has probably increased tenfold since you started. My role as ops manager, I wasn't in a cybersecurity environment before. Very similar to yourself, had very little knowledge of the industry. I didn't even know anybody who worked in cybersecurity before. So I came into the industry completely blind to almost everything. Yeah. A basic knowledge of IT, just that I'd picked up from previous jobs. Yeah. So I've very much had to pick everything up on the fly, as you go, on the job kind of thing. But I've been doing it for just over 2 years now. Much like yourself.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Really loving it. It's a really diverse industry. There's a lot of cool people. There's a lot of really interesting work. Thankfully, all the clients we've got are great.
Yeah.
So I think
they're really easy to work with, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because that was one of the things I was quite worried about from the previous work I've done. So I was working in schools. I've worked in the NHS, and people are always really happy to see you because you're there to help them. And I was quite unsure what it's going to be like in business, because you're actually giving someone a service that they're paying a lot of money for.
Yeah, this is
and
it.
I was very sort of, oh my God, they're not happy, they're going to come down on you or... Yeah, but these guys are great. I mean, I've made a few mistakes, as you know, and the people have, our clients have been great with,
absolutely.
We know it's
and I did the same when I joined, I made a few hiccups and mistakes. So even though I come from a background that is a bit more business oriented, so I've done sort of people and process management before, I was doing not operations management, but I was doing event management for a business centre just outside Chippenham, so still in Wiltshire. And a lot of that was organisational skills, people management, process management, time, money management, all the kind of same stuff that I do here. So I had a bit of experience in it before, just in a completely different industry, just in like the events industry. So a completely different kettle of fish. Technical requirements were pretty minimal, whereas here it's kind of a hands-on technical job. Not as much as obviously our technical advisors have got, but more technical than my previous roles. So a lot of those skills were pretty transferable, which is I think one of the main benefits of this industry is that you can transfer previous knowledge into this industry. So even though you may not be a whiz kid in cybersecurity, there's still routes to entry into the industry for you.
Yeah, and that's really what we're going to sort of talk about today. Is we want to try and reach out to the people that are very interested in cybersecurity or a role in cybersecurity, and telling them or giving them some advice on how they can use what they're doing now, and their background knowledge is in going into cybersecurity.
Yeah.
So absolutely. On that, you had a lot of experience in the background before doing your ops role.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of qualifications you had to do? Because I know when I was going to come into my marketing sort of role, like I spoke to Harry, who's the big boss.
Yeah, Harry's my boss, our boss. He's the boss of everybody,
The big Don, yeah.
He might make an appearance on this podcast one day if we can bribe him enough.
Speaking to him, and he was like, just go out there, find whatever you think is going to be good for this marketing role.
Yeah.
And sort of courses. There was loads on there, on the Google stuff. There's other things I found on there's just loads of different colleges you can go on and stuff. Did you do anything like that?
Similar. So prior to being here, I'd kind of just worked my way through up to the position that I was in as event and hospitality manager in my previous role. I'd literally just worked my way up the kind of the ladder with doing very minimal in terms of courses and training and things like that. I had done some entry level business courses, but other than that, it was really just a kind of on the job learning. And I think that's what really kind of helped me when I joined here, because it was entering a new industry, although some of the skill requirements were the same. So again, it was the people and process management, which I knew I could do because I'd done it before. Learning about the industry itself was very much on the job kind of learning. I did do some entry level courses in cybersecurity. So there's a few free courses out there, which I think are really beneficial to just kind of give you that little just high level, like I say, entry level kind of what the requirements of cybersecurity are, or what cybersecurity means, what organizations can do to keep themselves safe, things like that, the kind of really high level stuff. And I think for me, that really gave me a good enough understanding to know how to kind of operate in this industry. Because I was looking at it from a different point of view. You've got obviously technical consultants, and we manage a team of consultants here. They need to know the technical nitty-gritty kind of things. For my role, it's just understanding enough about the industry, the requirements, the technology to a degree, to be able to kind of offer a service package to a customer. So I did do some entry level courses, but nothing by the means of paying £1,000 to get a certification. But that's very specific to my role. But anybody, I think anybody looking to get into cybersecurity, there are so many little courses out there that are really good entry level stuff.
Yeah, they're all pretty free as well. So I've done I did some digital marketing. I've actually just signed up for a YouTube one.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
And I think HubSpot are doing a podcast one as well. So I'm going to look at that as well, which will be very useful for this. Yeah,
oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, this can only get better, right? Can it?
Surely. And then I've just done I think it's level 2 in cybersecurity and level 2 in business. Free courses which just help give you that little bit more confidence. And
absolutely, yeah. There's so much resource out there that is available for anybody who's even just curious of getting into the industry.
What we want to do is kind of whack that all into our space.
Yes.
And full stack security, so you can find it easy and do it via video.
Yeah.
Because I actually think video is going to boom on the net soon.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is it. So a lot of courses you get online, they're really stale. It's just a case of read some training material, answer some questions. Of course, they're free courses, so you don't expect too much from them. But I think, what we're trying to do with this podcast is take that kind of the free platform, so we don't want to charge for it. And put some decent content together that people are going to find beneficial. Engaging is a really big one, because it can be so boring just to sit there and read 10 web pages and then answer 15 questions at the end of it. If you're someone like me who doesn't kind of digest that information very well and retain that information very well, it's going to be a bit difficult. So I think video learning, podcasts, things like that, definitely the way forward.
Yeah, so it's a great way to upskill yourself, and that's what we want to try and do. And then hopefully we can continue to grow and get it out there for more people. Awesome. And I think it's a really enjoyable industry as well. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing on it. Learning, constantly learning. Aspects of your job really enjoyable?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So
What's like your most enjoyable bit? That's got to be like.
So the most enjoyable thing for me, I kind of found myself just falling into this operations management or this kind of like operational industry or operational career, I suppose. But it's mainly just people management that I enjoy the most because for me, I'm very much a people person. I
Yeah.
like to talk to people. I like to engage with people. I'm probably what you would call a extrovert, I think is the technical term.
Nice.
Whereas a
Yeah.
lot of people, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? A lot of people are introverts. They just
Yeah.
want to kind of sit in a...
The only thing I remember, and we did that test, or I can't remember what it was, but I came
Oh,
out as
yeah.
Frodo. I
Yeah.
can't remember what Frodo was.
That was it. Oh, gosh, we'll have to try and find it and put
Yeah.
a link somewhere. But we all did a personality test, didn't we? And it came out to say... And it was pretty accurate,
was
I
very
think, for
accurate,
almost
I
all of
thought,
us, to say exactly what your personality traits are. And mine was... I can't remember who the characters they associated me with were, but it was very much like a defender of people, a kind of like a champion
God, that's
of...
very suited for cybersecurity. That.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah,
Defender
absolutely.
of the cyber realms.
Yeah, it was like defender, champion of people, because I want to see people do well. I want to help people be the best they can, do the best they can. So for me, kind of just providing that background support almost, because like I said, I'm not out there delivering all the technical aspects and implementing ISO 27001 and doing upskilling for SOC and MDR and things like that. That's not my realm. My realm is just to put the right people in the right place and make sure they've got everything they need to do that, and make sure that they're comfortable enough doing that and they know what they're doing. And I love that part of the job. Like that's kind of my job in a nutshell, really. I really enjoy it. Making sure
you go into a state of flow when you do it. When I
Yeah.
watch you work,
Yeah.
So like it's like your challenge and what's the other one? It's like anyway. There's this graph. It's like so your challenge and like how I was gonna say how bored you are. So if you're like bored in it and you find it not very challenging, it's like you're not hitting a state of flow. But if you find it challenging but enjoyable, you kind of hit this moment where you just go
up.
And
this is it.
and when you work with like our clients, when I've seen you on like these events, like networking and stuff, it's like something takes over and you're just like, completely
absolutely.
like,
You
and
kind
people
of
like really engaged with you as well.
I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had touch wood. I've had no bad feedback from anybody as of yet. All the clients seem pretty happy, which is probably step number one. Make sure your clients are always happy. Step number two, make sure your employees are always happy. And I think at the moment we've got happy clients, happy employees, so it's just maintaining that kind of happiness. I definitely agree. I kind of, when I do get in the flow, there is like, it's kind of like a hyper focus. Nothing else matters. You kind of just in the zone and you're just doing what you do best. Overall, I love it. And like you said, it's a really interesting industry to be in as well. There's constant challenges, there's constant threats evolving, there's new things to consider. So no 2 days are the same, which I think you get with a lot of jobs, don't you? You kind of clock in your 9 to 5. And you just do the same things day in, day out. Although there are a lot of repetitive, I don't know.
Repetitive.
A lot of repetitive jobs within the industry. They vary and they're different from client to client. So it's it keeps things fresh and exciting and interesting.
Let's go back to when you first sort of started. So when I first started, I left the school I was working at, and like I said, I worked in the NHS before, so I was very like competent in those things. I was always seen as like a leader. I came here, and I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Like I haven't sat in front of a computer since like school. I mean, I knew like how to do certain things on computer. I had a bit of IT knowledge, but not like what these guys have got here. So I'm sat in this office. Yeah. You've got like Bryn, who's one of our consultants, sat next to me on like the call, spieling off all this stuff and this jargon. I'm like, what is this? A million
acronyms, that's what it is. It seems to be in
like CVS, whatever. And I'm like, Jesus, what is all this stuff? What am I doing?
Did you find it quite overwhelming when you first started?
Oh, yeah, it was. I was like, oh God, have I made a mistake here or what? But then within like 4 weeks, it's like the support of yourself and Harry, just learning about different things. Like I literally just being sat in that office with these people, I picked up loads of stuff. I like learnt loads about cyber essentials. I think I could actually now talk to someone about cyber essentials and like, sell the service.
I'll sit here and quiz you in a minute. I'll ask you those questions.
And then like of course I knew Connor and speaking to Connor about his consultancy role with ISO 27001. I don't think I could talk about that too confidently, but I can get a gist of stuff, and I can refer to them all. And then I was sat there, and I think I had like James across from me. It's like a pen testing dude, and he's literally headphones on, and he's like in the zone. It's just mad to watch.
You see his screen, and it's got
and
all
like
these crazy things.
Numbers,
like
it's like
the
the Matrix.
Movies. Yeah, that's it. Like you see in the movies, got all sorts going on, back end coding and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was sat there like, oh my god, I feel like a right imposter being here. Did you feel like that at all?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. So like I said, my previous roles, so I'd done a bit of marketing and stuff in the past, office-based admin kind of jobs, so fairly competent, like using a computer. I can do some rules in a spreadsheet. That's kind of the limit of my technical ability.
My spreadsheet skills weren't good when I started. I was like, Jesus, what is it?
That was kind of one of the only things I could, and it wasn't even that great. It was just that I could occasionally write a bespoke rule for a spreadsheet or something like that. So my technical abilities weren't really that high. Although I was doing like event management and operation management and stuff, like hospitality management previously. It wasn't technical based. It was I was doing a lot of hands-on, feet on the ground stuff. I was setting up meeting rooms. I was doing all that client engagement stuff. I was doing a lot of that. Yeah. So again, which I do now, and it's another part of the job that I enjoy is engaging with the clients. But in terms of technical abilities and things like that, it could be really daunting. Like it's almost like walking into a movie or something like that sometimes, when you've got people doing penetration tests and you've got people doing audits for clients, and they're really digging into how safe and secure are your systems and things like that. And it is pretty kind of overwhelming. And you've got you've got people talking all these acronyms. You've got ISO, you've got SOC, you've got MDR, you've got whatever else, just to name a few. The list is endless. And just being in that environment, I think it can be a bit overwhelming at first. If you can learn to kind of ride through that overwhelmingness, then you'll be fine. I think it can probably put a lot of people off potentially when you first joined. Did you feel put off at all when did you struggle a little bit when you first started?
The first few weeks after you've done all your initial training and stuff, and then it's and then Harry's like, right, I need you to put together this email to go to all our clients. You're like, fine. And then you sit in front of this screen to do an email. You're like, what the hell am I about?
What were those acronyms that you were shouting around? Was it ISO? That's what I was like.
Whatever. But and then it was just literally getting through that phase, and then you and Harry were like, right, our website needs completely upgrading. This is what I think really kickstarted me into gaining more knowledge about cyber, learning more about Periculo, getting really comfortable with my team as I had this project to do. So I think if you can get into a workplace and find yourself, I didn't find myself a project. I was told this is a project, but I was willing to do it, and I've never done any web design stuff before. But we've made this website. It took me, I think I
did a fantastic job with the website, by the way. For somebody who's never built a website before and didn't really know what they were doing, we've had loads of really good feedback on the website. So that's great.
I think it took me 6 weeks, and then I was like, the noise you can hear, by the way, is Honey, the dog.
Yeah.
She decided to pitch up under my chair. So.
Yeah, she might jump up and make an appearance soon.
That'll be the highlight of the thing, I reckon.
Yeah,
absolutely. Put a face on the front. Yeah,
everyone will just skip through the whole video just to see the dog.
Where was it? On the website, and just just being able to do that, then gave me the confidence to then move on to the next stuff, which was then doing more marketing. Yeah. And I felt like I had more knowledge then, because obviously I had to fill out the content for the pages, so I had to learn about Cyber Essentials, Cyber Essentials Plus, the ISO, even our medical devices to a degree, which I can't remember them all now. But
I think you hit a good point there. It is confidence. It's having that confidence. So initially, if you come into the industry blind, like both of us did, initially it's going to be overwhelming, and you're going to panic and freak out, and your head's going to spin because there's so much information coming in at once. If you can ride through that, build up a little bit of confidence. I think what you did by going through the whole website as a project was a really good learning experience for yourself. Yeah. And for the business as well. It was so beneficial for the organisation, because our old website, if you look at it now, was horrible compared to what we've got now. I think that's it. So it's riding through that kind of first few weeks of not really understanding, not sure where to go. And then having a project that you see through to completion to then boost your confidence. Yeah. And then once you've done 1 or 2 projects and you've kind of absorbed a bit of information, from then on you're rolling.
Yeah. That's great. And then now I've started to do a lot, a bit more of the ops stuff. So
Yes.
Setting up on IASME portal and stuff, actually
Yep.
connecting with our clients.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's been really good as well. But
Yeah.
at first, again, that was a bit of a, what am I
Yeah.
doing here type thing.
Yeah.
But then, like,
Well,
actually,
I think a lot of people are going to go through the same thing. Like if they're coming into the industry without any kind of skills or knowledge, they're going to go through that shaky period. But yeah, it really is just a case of it will be fine. You know, nothing bad's going to happen. You'll learn as you go. You'll pick things up, knock a few projects out the park. You've got your confidence in you, and then you can go from there. And I think even some of our top advisors, so we've got people who've been doing this for years on the team, they're still going to have moments when they're a bit unsure, the nerves kick in. It is just natural, and you will get better and you will progress.
I've also found it's ever evolving as well. Like it's constantly changing. There's like I said, there's new threats coming in. We need to learn new, like there's different types of malwares or different sorts of phishing and stuff going on. And it's constantly changing, so that not everyone knows everything all the time.
No,
and it's
absolutely.
Really good then you've got your team which knows that, and then you can all bounce off each other for more ideas and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I must admit we're really good at a team as sharing information. Somebody identifies a new threat, or if there's a new report of a new threat that not everybody's picked up on, we share it, we spread the information around. And that's what we're trying to do for our customers as well. We do the threat reports every week, so we issue 3 of the biggest threats from the week. We're going to hopefully do some more of it over video as well,
which I think would be really cool.
Yeah,
we can sort of get some live threats going.
Yeah, that's it. Working on a live threat feed
Friday maybe. It's all work in progress, but we're going to get there.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool. Okay, let's go. Sort of the job satisfaction now I get now is unreal. Yeah, like just being able to. I think. Hopefully, like most cybersecurity places like this, like Periculo, I think I was going to say easygoing. It is easygoing, but you're trusted with your workload, which is massive for me. Yeah, as in I know how to, like, it's nice to have a boss that's just like, right, this is what you've got to do. I know you're going to get it done in this time. So you feel valued that someone actually trusts you. It's like hybrid sort of working as well really helps.
Absolutely.
And makes my lifestyle so much better. And makes you really enjoy your job. You really appreciate coming into the office, which is brand new office for everyone. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do a video walkthrough once it's all finished. There is we're still filling the office up, but once we're done, we'll do a nice shiny video walkthrough.
So job satisfaction in cybersecurity for me, being at Periculo, it's been great. Is it going to be the same for you, I imagine?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, working here is incredible. I've been in no other organisation like it. We're really lucky with the kind of organisation that we've got. I think it's a very modern organisation. The fact that we do offer hybrid working, it wasn't just a thing that was offered during COVID, because it's kind of how most things went for most organisations. Is everybody just moved home throughout the kind of pandemic, and then once the pandemic was over, it's kind of right. Everybody has to come back to the office. Not all organisations have done that. Us, for example, we still offer that kind of hybrid working. There's no requirement to be in the office all the time. We do still work from home. And again, one of the perks of the job and the way that we operate, and kind of probably the same for most companies within the industry, is everything's cloud-based. You can work pretty much fully remote all the time. There's only rare occasions that you actually have to be in the office. So again, for people trying to come into the industry, 9 times out of 10, you probably do your whole job from home. And that's
some
really
tropical
big
beach somewhere, maybe.
Or a tropical beach, exactly. That's
that.
It. Yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't be.
Exactly.
Yeah, on a beach with your feet up. Or
imagine that in one of your meetings. Where are you today? Just in the Bahamas.
I'm in the Bahamas. That's it. Feet up, sipping a cocktail. That's it. That'd be amazing. Well, we keep joking about getting a Periculo office in Bahamas or something. But that's it. It could be a reality. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. You couldn't be sat in the south of France sipping a lovely Chateau Neuf de Pape with your feet up. In terms of how we've got this set up here, it works really well. We've got a good office environment, we've got a good team, and I think almost everybody on the team would say the same thing, that job satisfaction wise, it's through the roof. Through the roof.
Great. So what would be some of your tips to get into cybersecurity? So obviously we've got like the consultants and technical roles, which we're not.
Yeah,
so we'll get one of those guys on and we'll ask them
I'm sure they
their
can give
tips for that.
Yeah.
So for us then, what would be our tips? Because cyber's going to be a massive industry where companies like Periculo are going to need ops managers. They're going to need marketing. They're probably going to need sales.
Yeah.
They're probably going to need other roles, which I can't quite think of at the minute. But what would be your tips to get into a ops manager role?
Well, I think initially, if you're kind of considering, if you're in a position like I am, so I had a lot of transferable skills from previous roles. I think the main one is to not be put off by the industry. I think a lot of people see cybersecurity and they think, oh, I don't know anything about the industry, I can't do it.
Yeah, I need some massive degree.
That's it. Oh, unless I've got a Security Plus certification that's going to cost me a couple of grand, I can't get into the industry. There's no reason to think like that, because a lot of the processes and things are the same as they would be with any other organisation. Still liaising with clients as you normally would, still managing a team of people as you normally would. So if you're looking to come into it in a kind of operational capacity or a management capacity, then don't be put off by the industry at all, because there are opportunities there, and it is really just like any other kind of operational role. So like I said, I didn't have any qualifications relative to the industry. It was quite a unique opportunity that I had, in the fact that Periculo grew pretty quick and they were in need of a operations manager pretty quickly, and I was just in the right place at the right time. So for me, it was a little bit unique, because I'd been made redundant because of the pandemic. So I was available and Periculo needed somebody, so I kind of just swooped in.
It's like fate.
It was like fate. I said, obviously the pandemic was terrible, and it had a bit of an impact on my life negatively, but it also had a positive impact, because if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't be here. So it was a very unique situation that I found myself in. So don't be put off by the industry. Don't feel like you've got to have a million certifications. There's going to be a lot of small cybersecurity companies, much like Periculo, who are going to need that kind of management structure. So if you're looking to come in any kind of management capacity, not just ops management, but any kind of financial management, whatever, it is very manageable. It's easy to get into. Well, it's not easy to get into, but it's just the same as any other organisation. So don't be put off by it.
A key thing is going to be like how you do your CV and stuff, isn't it? So if you're coming from like you said, like your events background, you can definitely tailor that to managing of ops and services and stuff.
This is it.
It's like if you're a customer service assistant in a shop, you can probably definitely tailor your CV to offering out services for cybersecurity and your people skills and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of it you learn on the job. So if you're in a sales role and you're selling somebody a car, you can probably talk to them all day about the specific make and model of that car and what's under the hood and how it operates, blah, 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 blah. You could do that exact same thing for cybersecurity and you'll learn most of it on the job. Yeah. So, entry requirements for kind of non-technical roles, as we are, aren't as off-putting as I think a lot of people would think. I think if you were looking to apply for a job, say a sales job, and you saw an available position for a cybersecurity organisation, a lot of people might initially be put off that. Think, oh my god, it's really big, it's really scary. It's not. It is just like any kind of other organisation. Main thing is just don't be put off by it.
Just go for it.
Yeah. How about you? Was when you first joined, did you find that what were your kind of main tips that you'd give? Because obviously you're in a marketing position, so it's a little bit different to mine. I didn't really have any interest in like marketing or anything like that before. Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't say that on your CV.
Okay.
Cover letter said something different.
No. So I was really interested in the industry. And like I said, like I think my situation was I was quite lucky as well that I knew people here, so I could talk to them about it. I'm not necessarily begging them for a job here, but just to learn more about cybersecurity and what I kind of fancied. So they talked to me about different career paths and stuff. Yeah. And then really, like Harry just said to me, because do you fancy doing like a little bit of a marketing sort of role, just something to help push the company from? And I was just like, do you know what? Why not? I'm going to take a leap. And then the more I started like research in cybersecurity, learning more about marketing, I actually found like marketing really interesting.
Yeah.
Just getting out there. Like now I just listen to podcasts on marketing as I drive in. It's mad, which I never think I would do.
Yeah.
Because I was always really keen on like health and fitness and stuff like that. But yeah, now I'm just like listening to marketing stuff, and I've just got a real good keen interest for it. Like it's almost like I like to see what works and like like different sort of A/B tests and stuff. But I like to see like what sort of approaches are going to work.
Yeah.
And some at the minute don't tend to work. There's other ones that
It's a
do
lot
kind
of
of
trial
work.
and error, isn't it?
And I quite really like that aspect of it. But so my sort of tips to get into marketing would be try and find like a cheap sort of qualification or free one. There's loads of free ones out there. See if you've actually got an interest in it, which is what I managed to pick up from doing the course. And then I think just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be the end of the world. You can throw yourself into it. I think I was lucky because my background in like schoolwork and like the NHS, I could always fall back to it. Not that I wanted to, because I really wanted to make this work. And touch wood, hopefully it's still working.
Well, absolutely, doing something right. Yeah.
But I think you've just got to go for certain things.
Yeah, that's
Give yourself a little bit of knowledge in the background and just go for it.
Yeah.
And try and really make it your own. I think that's a really important point.
Absolutely. I think, because what you've done here is that you can definitely see you've got your like individual flair onto our marketing. And it's worked because it's not just like everybody else's marketing where it's just boring. You know, everybody gets marketing emails and things like that. And 9 times out of 10, they just go straight in a spam folder or just bin them off or whatever. But yours is actually engaging. So whatever you're doing, it definitely works.
Yeah. So if you're watching, liking my newsletters and stuff, please.
Keep going on LinkedIn and liking them posts. One other thing I was just going to touch on, because I think it kind of benefited us both, and it is, like I said before, it is a unique situation in that we knew people in the industry. So obviously you knew Harry before you got the job. I didn't, but I actually found the job through a friend of a friend. So I think if you do have any opportunity to speak to people in the industry, do it. So go to business fairs and see if there's any cybersecurity companies there. And just engage with them. Just have a chat. There are all sorts of cybersecurity events that go on all over the country. Most of them are free to register. Yeah. Just go there. Just have a word with people in the industry. Exactly. There's such a skills gap at the moment, or a personnel gap at the moment. There's entry-level jobs probably all over the place. So if you're really looking to get into the industry, I'd recommend that you just go to some of those kind of events and just talk to people there. If you're really ballsy and you want to hand out a copy of a CV, do it. Why not? Because, you know,
it's really techy and get yourself a business card. They scan and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Like, get a QR code on a business card or something.
You are right. They call it a skills gap, don't they? But I think you're right there. It's a personnel.
It's a personnel gap. Yeah.
There's not the people to fill it in. And I think if you can throw yourself in that pool to be considered for a job somewhere, then go for it. Also with like reaching out to people, like loads of websites now have live chats and stuff. So I know for a fact we pick up our live chats. We've spoken to people before who's been interested in job roles on our live chat. So just make yourself known, I think. Be a bit ballsy, I think.
That's it, because that's what we do. So people engage with us on the live chat. They'll send a CV over. We've now got a pool of CVs for when we are looking to actively hire. We don't necessarily need to go out and market it or post a job advert. We can just assess the pool of CVs that we've got on previous.
Because we do save them. If you haven't heard back, but we do save them, because this is what happened to mine as well. Mine was just because I just got a message from Harry out of the blue. He goes, "Your CV's sat on my desk."
Oh really?
And
yeah,
I was like,
amazing.
What? Yeah, but
love it.
So we do keep them and just keep putting in your CVs, your cut levers and stuff, and I think that'll help. And then in the meantime, while you're waiting, I think just go on Google, get your whatever. So for me, it was digital marketing, and then level 2, like cybersecurity, or what else did I do? Oh God, I did quite a few. I've kind of lost what they all are now.
Yeah, but it all
content
depends on
marketing, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what kind of area of business you're looking to go into? Obviously, yours very marketing specific. Mine kind of operations management. So like I said, I had done a kind of entry level business course in the past, but a lot of it was just previous experience that got me to that position. So. There's all sorts of routes in that people don't necessarily think about, I suppose, sometimes.
And even, I got a fun fact written down here.
Oh, please do.
Candle maker, wasn't it?
Candle maker. Oh yeah,
to ops manager.
Candle maker to operations manager. Yeah, maybe I'll write a book one day.
I think we'll have to title this that.
Yeah.
So how was the candle making industry? What was that? Was that through COVID? Was it? Or?
Yeah, that was through COVID. So yeah, like I said, I kind of hit a period of redundancy. So I was doing events and hospitality management at a business centre just outside Chippenham.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a few years and kind of like building this career in kind of event management. Then COVID hit and our events calendar just emptied because obviously nobody was socialising anymore. Everybody was like working from home. There was restrictions.
From the government.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, there was restrictions put in place, which heavily affected the industry that I was working in. So I was furloughed for a while, which was okay because it was the height of summer and I was sat at home drinking gin and tonics in my garden, getting paid full price.
That was a good summer though, wasn't
that
it?
That was a good summer. Yeah, that's it.
Hot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, a pandemic aside, that was okay. But then eventually led to redundancy, and I found myself in a bit of a pickle because obviously got a mortgage to pay, just got married, so it was like a wedding to pay off, things like that. So in the interim of finding what I would call a proper job, I got a job working in a candle factory. So
nice.
It was literally, as you'd imagine, well, I don't know what people imagine when they think of working in a candle factory, because I thought I'd just be making like candlesticks all day, but we were making like vegan scented candles by hand. So we had massive vats of bubbling wax, essentially, and you scoop it up with a jar, you add your flavours or your scents or whatever, and then you just hand pour it. And I was just pouring candles all day, doing hundreds a day for the best part of a year. Nowhere was really hiring, especially the industry that I had experience in. Nobody was hiring in the kind of events industry. So, which is where I was kind of targeting my applications. I was looking for more work in the kind of hospitality industry. Out of some fluke, as I say, it was a friend of a friend shared a post with me that Harry was looking for an operations manager here. So I think Periculo grew to the point where he was struggling to manage it on his own, just kind of needed somebody to come in and help manage the team. So I pinged over a CV. I actually saw the job advert on Facebook. I think Harry's partner shared it on Facebook, and then that got shared to me. So it was like some kind of convoluted chain of people managed to find this job advert, managed to find its way to me. And then I just pinged the CV over to Harry. And now I said like pinged a CV over. I had sat down and put a lot of effort into my CV because I was desperately trying to find a job. I was just earning minimum wage in a candle factory, which was paying the bills, but that was about it. I did do a bespoke for every job application I've ever done. I've done a bespoke cover letter, which
I think Harry's that's a big key tip.
Yeah, big key tip. Yeah, that's it. If you're looking for a job, do a cover letter and make sure it is bespoke.
A lot of people I speak to that run businesses, they're like, if they haven't got a cover letter, I'm not even opening the CV.
Yeah, this is it.
So,
Well, Harry had several applications for the role that he was hiring for, and he said, out of all of them, I was the only person to do a cover letter. So I think, really,
points
if anything...
on the board already,
that's it. Yeah. That made my CV stand out immediately because I had a cover letter there. And it wasn't just I can give your industry what you're looking for, your organisation what you're looking for. It was like, it was tailored to all the... I did a bit of research on the company before I kind of like built my cover letter around this position. In the case of I was working in the candle factory for about 9 months. I applied for the job, had a phone conversation with Harry the next day, and within about a week, I'd literally gone from hand pouring candles in a factory to suddenly I didn't start in operations management. It was, what was the title? My title changed about 3 times in the first 3 or 4 months while we were trying to figure out exactly what it was that I was doing. I think it was just project management. I think it was just a cybersecurity project manager. Yeah, so I'd literally gone from warehouse operative, which was my job title at the candle factory, to project manager of cybersecurity project manager. So that's 2 vastly different
roles,
job titles. So it was crazy. A crazy time. Literally a crazy time. And I look back on it and think, man, I can't believe I used to just stand and pour candles all day. I used to go home smelling really nice.
Yeah, I bet.
You get big vats of oil and stuff like that, and all this scents and stuff like that. So
fantastic.
I used to go home smelling nice. So as far as factory work's concerned, it wasn't that bad.
Still got any candles, or are they all gone?
Do you know what? I think we've still got some candles, yeah, like in the back of the cupboard. It's so
Nice.
funny because for that like 9-10 months or whatever, everybody's birthday, everybody got candles.
Got a candle, yeah.
I just pour a few
Christmas.
extra. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Christmas, everything. It was amazing. But yeah, it was a wild ride, just from literally 1 week being a warehouse operative and the next week being a project manager of a cybersecurity company.
That's great.
Yeah.
So really what we want people to take away from this then is basically you can tailor your CV, your past experiences into one to go into a cyber role.
Yeah.
More so in the ops, product management,
that's
marketing, sales.
Marketing, sales, yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't be put off by the industry because you'll find that a lot of the skills that you've had elsewhere will be transferable over to cybersecurity for sure.
And just do it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
not quoting Nike.
Yeah. We're not.
Before they get onto us, yeah.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So hopefully you'll see a lot more of me and Cory. We're going to do hopefully a lot of shorts. So we'll do things like benefits of Cyber Essentials.
Yep.
Benefits of Cyber Essentials Plus.
Yep.
Again, we'll do things about ISO.
Yeah.
What else, Cory? Pen testing.
Pen testing, medical device regulation stuff. So we're gonna hopefully get some of the team in to do some of the podcasts. Some of the people with the actual knowledge, a bit more knowledgeable than us.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Maybe we'll learn something new as well.
Well, hopefully, yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great. Right, that's great. Well, that was our first podcast for Full Stack Security. We hope it's all right.
Yeah, I think we did okay.
Oh, I think so. Guest appearance with Bunny that just didn't do a lot apart from snore.
No.
That's that.
Cool.
So till next time, I guess.
Yeah, nice one, Craig.
Thanks, Cory.
Pleasure. Cheers.